the writings are on the wall for another set of labor disputes. And this actually is just a follow-up from what we experienced at the tertiary level. Now, at the basic and senior high school levels, it looks like NAT, NAGRAT, lazing their boots. How do we avert that disaster in that sector as well?
Thank you, and thank you for having me. My brother, thank you. I've heard you. Now, to be very honest with you, I'm a little puzzled by the fact that since May 1st, when these concerns were raised by organized labor, nothing meaningful has been done. Our Labor Act is very clear. I heard my brother Jacob quoted it properly. This is the only nation under the sun that has a very clear-cut provision in its Labor Act, making room for the National Tripartite Committee to be established and giving them specific functions under Section 113, as he rightly quoted, subsection C. It says that the welfare and the economic importance of the nation should be discussed at the National Tripartite Committee meeting. I recall the Americans were saying that they are jealous of our law in respect of this matter. So the proactivity on the part of the employer, and in this case, let's call him employer, not necessarily government. Government is a political entity, right. But as employer, you have a responsibility to ensure that you engage your people, because for lack of inclusivity, you can have people taking action, you can call it unilateral, but you give them the opportunity to do that. So saying they're going to be hoisting red flag, which is potentially a strike, because under Section 1273 of our Labor Act, right, you are not supposed to threaten each other, but you are giving them opportunity. They should have called them, and it's not late. I know my colleagues at the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations are very serious people. They should immediately call for a National Tripartite Committee meeting, and let this not be necessarily focusing on national daily minimum wage, because the obvious thing is that we have an inflationary thing on our hand. We have spiralizing kind of cost of living getting out of hand. And so it's for the employer to just invite them to a meeting and have this conversation. It's not a debate, it's not an argument for somebody to win and somebody losing, so that they can focus on the needful, because they should be happy that they are asking for cost of living allowance, as it were, COLA, and not necessarily an astronomical increase in pay.
And some say
that one,
right,
the inflation.
And some say at this point that, in fact,